Hello everyone, my name is Mitz, and here we're back with Head is Code, and basically the world outside of this place is either like a Schrodinger's cat situation all over again, and Simon is not going to catch a goddamn break. Literally everyone has killed him at some point. Well, not everyone really, because E and Mark have done a single thing to him, and I guess technically the twins have either, if you don't count them the Ultra Mind that one with the Smiley helmet on, and Ray either. But on numerous occasions, kind of, yes. Whether directly by shooting him in the goddamn face, like twice or 3 times, and one indirectly by blowing up the entire railroad system somehow with homemade craftable bombs. How the fuck? Oh god. How the fuck did he do that? He's a natural born assassin or something like that. Jesus Christ. Don't trust him. Don't trust old men with gold-plated things and a nice goatee. Never trust them. Never believe them. So we're gonna go down the pink route now. Let's see where that leads. And I didn't even forget what this is. Structure clears mind. Just supposed to go somewhere together. Oh yeah, this is what if we decided to say it was Jasmine too. When are we gonna? There was the other choice of the padlock was like giving him a whole thing of him whether to tell Jasmine about the note or not. We both went to our location a little further away to discuss what we found. At Jasmine's instance, we also lowered her voice, and so she didn't want A to know what we saw. What do you think is behind the door? I know there's some weird tube in the middle. It looks like it's full liquid too, but I couldn't see very well from that angle. Maybe they're trying to revive the dinosaurs, or maybe they're trying to revive us from the grave. Maybe we're all dead and they're actually like doing this whole game to make sure we're all actually like living, breathing people when we're actually zombies and ghouls in disguise. Oh my god! Well, some of us are robots too, so oh my god, they were right to do this whole game. They were right. They were right. They were fucking right. Ah! Okay, time to get rid of that fake existential crisis. You know, RAR and stuff. RAR X3. Okay, I immediately hate myself. I'm ashamed. She huffed indignantly. You look like a dinosaur. Go T-Rex style now. What kind of puzzle was that anyway? There were no tools, notes, or anything at all. The room was just a random weight. I say it was random, but not like that. It's not like it was truly random. It was clearly set up. She sounded almost disappointed that the puzzle was lame, but I knew what she meant. Why even make a room like that accessible? There's nothing to do. Was it just to see the locked door? Companions, please pay attention to the train. We're arriving shortly. We're arriving shortly. Open doors. We're not at a station yet. I know. Shove. Oh, God. He was right. Abe's called out for us. We both abandoned our topic. Well, here we go. So that we have to make a choice of whether to stay with Jasmine or not. It starts to side of my head in my indecision. Stay in the lounge. Faced with the choice of heading out of the stranger alone and renting this lounge, I chose to stay. Well, couldn't we have a stroll here then? If we had to decide our next team soon, we might be better for remaining here. I did try to just disguise my lack of trust by a sensible suggestion, but it's just that he wasn't buying it. This old man generally acted in our best interest. However, part of me believed that was a lie. Yes. Nobody had gone with him, but that little voice is too loud for me to ignore. Yeah, even from the beginning, I didn't trust him at all. Like, probably not to, like, I don't want to go with you at all extent. Well, I kind of felt that way. If I went with him, though, I thought, I get roped into something I couldn't come back from. I suppose it could work then. Very well, let's take a walk around the lounge. Have a leisurely stroll and talk about the deep intricacies of life. Do you know what the meaning of life is, son? No, what do you think it is? Your death. Boom! As I came back upstairs, I paid a little attention to everyone else, and I figured out a way to get him to stop following me. Perhaps it would have been simpler to bring him to the others. If you were surrounded by them, you probably wouldn't ask me about whatever it was you planned to do. However, doing that also would potentially put Jasmine in peril. If it had anything to do with the station we just explored, I should have counted myself lucky it went for me and not her. Then again, I didn't really know why I believed what he wanted to ask me about was the stuff we saw at the station. It was a little odd. For some reason, I just knew. I also knew going there would lead to unsavory events. Nothing good could come out of that outcome. I said it was better to try and pass some time doing useless stuff. If I looked around for a long while acting clueless, maybe get bored and decide to move on. Oh, this thought came in my head. It's like sort of not, well, sort of tangentially related. There was a thing about, I think it was in one of the Electricons things about like this game took so long to make. So I wonder if the whole thing was like planned or at least outlined in a way. And like, well, I mean, I guess you would have to like with all this, but like, geez, how long would that take? Like several years straight? Wow. It's almost weird, like strange, and also it's kind of cool looking at like how rough like drawings were, like from the original Hedis code, and looking at this now, it's kind of so like how far we've come, this sort of thing. That way, I wonder if I would get that experience too, just looking back at stuff I've done. Hopefully I'll think that. Be all nostalgic, like, oh, I remember I did that, I was so stupid and did that, I said that out loud, or I just like, why the fuck did I play this? Yeah, I hope I don't feel that. Or maybe I should. Oh boy. That clock was frozen. The hands didn't move. It was always happy hour somewhere, but not here. Though I guess this is really what people call happy hour. Well, it is happy hour if you fake your happiness, but that's unhappy hour. Unhappy happy hour. Happy happy joy joy. I could barely reach the gemstones and been in the wood. Who put a clock behind the wall? Maybe it was there to dissuade us from messing with that. Guess there's a dispensing machine for, I guess, alcohol or soda? If one wished to go to the other side of the counter, they had to lift this piece of wood. Oh, you're looking at that. Fortunately, someone just could crouch and slip through, or do an action movie vault over it. It wasn't a very effective deterrent against people wanting to slip in. However, its name eluded me. I was sure this thing had a name. A flap? Hey, do you know what this part is called? Oh, this is He too was a lost when confronted with the name of this thing. This is the counterlift thingamajig, yes. So you don't know what it's called, I see. What are you talking about? That's what it's called, the counter thingamajig. That's the one thing I'll agree with A on. No, I know what it's called. I just can't remember. He didn't know then. What? Wait, I recall. It's a flip-up counter. Ah, crud. He did know. Close by were a few mugs and drink dispensers. I tried to turn on the tap, but it just made a strange noise and nothing else happened. That's where he got the bombs. That's where he knew how to make the bombs. He dismantled this and made a bomb out of it. I didn't know of those soda factory machines where they're secretly trying to putting this into all the restaurants to have to bomb at every single place. Oh no, to man. Oh god. Oh no. Jeez. Oh god. Even the bars. Everything is gone. Okay. How many times am I gonna fake this? For all the luxury this place offered me at a first glance, a lot of things sure didn't work or were outright broken here. Even the alcohol didn't work as alcohol should. Didn't even get you drunk. Instead, it kills you if you're allergic allergies. Oh boy. Where's the lights? The lights are giving up an eerie light. I didn't mess with them, and looking straight at the bulb was like looking directly at the sun. Not fun, and it hurt my eyes. Look at it, stare into it. Stare at the sun. Stare at the... This is your sun now. Stare at it. Stare at it. Sear it into your memory. Then stare at the moon and to see how more pleasant it is. There were a lot of bottles laid on the open. It was almost scary how many kinds there were. I recognized a few well-known brands, and there were others like Brunn-Kestel wine. What did Brunn-Kestel mean anyway? Was it a location? Is that even a real brand? Hold on a second. Quick sidetrack, because I actually want to look that up. Oh yeah, that's something else I was looking at. I think I was, oh god, I was the Anthropos principal. I looked it up looked it up a bit, and then just nothing came of it. Like, I just looked it up and just like, oh god, nope. Like, oh, I need to do something else. Oh god, why did I do that? Brunn-Kestel. Brunn-Kestel. I'm gonna assume it doesn't exist. I forgot, I had an L in there. Apparently leads to a villain's name. I'm assuming that's a reference to that anime then. Brunn-Kestel is an extremely powerful witch that's lived 1,000 years. Yeah, fantasy race witch, Japanese. Yep, probably is that. Doesn't exist. Let's see, but just to be sure, Brunn-Kestel wine. Sure. Nope. The first thing that pops up is the 2019 Gewürztramine. Something else is cut off. It's a very fine year, very crisp aftertaste. Tastes like apple cider. This is made from grapes. It's wine. Shut up. Ugh. The whole thing about like oh, Adam Ruins Everything is a good show. They talked about a whole other thing about they compared cheap and like expensive wine, and experts really couldn't really tell a difference. It all comes down to matter of what your taste is. If you think it tastes good, then get it. Like, don't tell it. Don't see what everyone else has. Like, I guess even reviews is mostly just. It's just basically people's recommendation. It's like literally like it's like your best friend or like just a close friend or a family member just telling you like okay, hey, this movie is pretty good. I thought you might like it. And if you like, if they think they know you at all, like, it might be a good idea for that sort of thing. And if a person recommends it well enough, like in a review or something like that, then it might be something that you would want to go through. It's that sort of thing. But it all comes down to a matter of taste. And I know that like these kind of games, like visual novels and all that kind of stuff, it's not everyone's cup of tea, which is unfortunate. Because some people don't want to think deeply, or like, yeah, my best friend can't think for shit apparently, but he can do strategy stuff on a dime. But the second it comes to thinking, anyway, I want to ramble there about burn Kesto wine about a reference apparently. Yay, makes sense. All those are alcoholic, right? Indeed. That's why I didn't mess with them. Most of us can drink them here, of course, but I think we must remain a little ahead if we want to make it out of here. Well, I can make a multi-cocktail. Let me just, Hey, does anyone have a lighter? No reason. He glared over at Ray. Specifically the ones A had taken in order to make separate cocktails have been under this counter. Perhaps those would be worth investigating. If it's so, however, I would certainly not get to explore more. Had I wasted enough time to get him off my trail? Wasn't sure. Presumably how he kept following me, I thought that perhaps this was a waste of time for me too. Perhaps he wouldn't go away. Thinking about it, this meant continuing wouldn't be an issue. This would be inevitable he'd be healing me anyway. Oh, okay. Okay, let's something else to do. The surface of the counter was well cleaned. In fact, it was almost shiny. Looked over at A, who noticed my observation of the surface. It looks good, doesn't it? I cleaned it up earlier. I even made sure it had a nice lavender fragrance of one of the products from under the counter. Leaning forward, he sits the countertop a little. Smells like sweet scented lemon. Well, I mean, even, like, I know the sharks don't like it. Oh, God, that's even... Oh, God, does anyone even get that reference? Well, if it's a pretty popular game, I'm pretty sure everyone heard of it. I'd be more shocked if you hadn't heard of it. I could tell the scent was fairly light in the air, even when I was a half a meter away from it. Yeah, I guess so. And the bar stool. What a nice, comfortable bar stool. It's fucking wood, dude. That's why it's comfortable? Why? Because you're fucking made of wood? How'd you know my secret? How'd you know it's Pinocchio? H was a robot. E is technically a robot, but different material. And now I'm actually a woodman. Benjamin Woodman. Okay. I have to reference a lot of things. Remember why these thieves never had anything to lean back against? I knew this is what a stool was, but why was there no back? Because they're cheap. Was it because drunks who stayed up late leaned forward into the counter? That really can be good in their backs. And wouldn't bar people not want that to happen anyway? Or well, I guess it's better than them leaning back and them falling to the ground and making a nuisance of getting people's way. So yeah, that's probably better actually. Better to clean up after a mess in the counter instead of cleaning up after a person who's unconscious on the ground and possibly a body. Yeah. I could have sat there, but I also could have not. And I chose not to. The great dilemmas of life. Oh no. I wasn't gonna sit there. No. Sitting there was like admitting defeat. No chance in hell. Oh no. Maybe a little bit of sitting couldn't hurt. I hopped into the seat. Gah! Sent the stool really somehow I had been had. Didn't know how, and I didn't know which entity, but I felt like I lost the game. Yes, you lost to me. You've lost to everyone to know everything. Here we are. Lifting the countertop piece that allowed us to move behind the counter, went there, followed by A as always. I could have talked to him, but oh well. I used the bottles more closely and then squatted down to look at some bolted metallic cupboards. You won't get to open those. I tried. That's how I knew they were refrigerated. If you put your hand against the surface, you'll feel it. Just as much as, and true enough, the surface was cold. Wait, touching metal that was cold was a very bad idea. The skin could get stuck to the ambient heat, and I pulled away from it. Oh yeah, you need to have it wet so it froze and stuck there like a tongue. Or maybe not. This is nuts. That's stuck! I didn't know how it worked. The bolts are too big for us to open. We need some serious handy tools for this. Well, we should have a handy man over here. So Ray, come over here. Look at this thing in the rest area. Was there anything else you wish to take a look at then? He diverted the topic. I was fine with this. This is fine. The twins still hadn't arrived, so I need to buy a bit more time. I took a glance to the counter next. Ah, yes, the other drinks. Ah, dang. Time to drink them all. There are many, aren't there? I actually looked at all of them earlier, and none of them seemed alcoholic down there. No moo. Why would you have a bar but have nothing alcoholic? Didn't you just say the stuff on the shelves itself were alcoholic? Well, if you wanted to have alcoholic drinks, there are some on the counter. Yeah, he just said that. However, I wouldn't trust them. They've been out of the fridge for what looks like months, perhaps. But don't you know? The longer wine has been sitting in the basement or anything, that makes it better. Like, that's actually bad advice. There's also the fridges below there just for show, and that's all there is. Hidden the cupboards into the counter, the ones that were bolted shut. These enclosed boxes were refrigerated too. Remember which one I opened? They all contained drinks for kids. Oh dang, I want some apple juice. One could argue stuff like soda wasn't for kids, but I'd be in agreement though. What surprised me was the assortment of drinks. Didn't make any sense. Grape drinks over there, orange drinks over here, and the best of all, there was some honeyed stuff or something? I couldn't read the labels. A lot of them were foreign languages. I can only guess what they were based on the pictures if there were any. So, how did Smiley get all this anyway? He has his connections, don't worry about it. Was he rich? I figured some of the drinks here were actually much older than I was. That fact was confirmed momentarily when A spoke again. None of those doors were locked up, surprisingly enough. What's more interesting of all those bottles might not be alcoholic, but they aren't really old. I believe they may be all older than I am. Ho ho. Just strange, because normally you'd be worried over expiration dates, yes? I said to reply and agree, but when I took a look at him, he seemed even whiter than usual. His skin was pale as if he realized something. Wait, what does this mean? Unfortunately for me, I wouldn't learn what he just thought about. The devil himself had chosen this moment to ruin everything. A scream pulled me out of my contemplation. Perhaps what he was looking at was made him feel such fear. Gomez was already observing the situation from above the counter. Rose up too, and the sight came, grim and strange. It was one of the twins on the ground with a knife lodged into her chest. What the fuck? I couldn't tell if this is G or H. Next to the mobile body was Jasmine on the ground, straddled by the other twin. Whichever this one was, she was wailing against a pink-haired girl, screaming, tearing up a storm. Something was weird. Okay, so Jasmine took a knife, and this timeline, stabbed one of them. Okay. I felt strangely detached in the scene, despite someone having died. It was like this didn't make sense. The twins didn't come back yet. How are they here? I'd have known if they'd come back. I was waiting for it to happen. Where was Ray? He wasn't there. Ray and Marco weren't there, in fact. The entire room was moving. So watching everything in slow motion, a splitting headache ran through my head. It was freezing me in the spot. Where was Marco? Where was Ray? Why were the twins here? In the span of a single moment, I realized that they had been here for a while. Somehow my memory of Marco and Ray being here was false. The twins had returned first instead. You killed my sister! Why did you... Why? Why? Why do you keep saying she's an imposter? My sister isn't an imposter. H is an imposter. I finally put together that this twin was H. Was G. H was an imposter? Huh. What was Jasmine saying? A was in the mood too, but whatever he did, I didn't know as I sank back into the counter. Please don't fight here. We're to sort of situation, no matter how dire. Let go of me! She assassinated her! Assassinate her, that's a way to put it. I was holding my head in pain as the others tried to handle the situation. Something in me was wrong. I was so fixed in the strange moment when Ray and Marco were replaced by the twins. Gah! What the fuck is this? Is that what A noticed too? I finally forced myself up. I had to do something. Run on the counter to do something. Anything. For that matter, where did Jasmine even get this knife? A small flashback enlightened me. Right. She disappeared when we went to the laboratory, didn't she? Did she grab the knife back then? Why? Was it for this? Has she planned to kill H already? As I moved in, I saw the situation. The old man was holding G under both her arms, but he said H was keeping her off the warpath, and Jasmine was still on the floor, trying to stand back up. If it had nothing, this hostilities would begin anew. I moved forward and tried to grab my friend to stop her from fighting the twin. As I was reaching for her, Jasmine dodged my hand and instead elbowed me in the face. Ow! Jasmine! The situation, I didn't care about the nicknames anymore. Jasmine slipped out of my grasp and grabbed the knife, and in the same movement, G kicked H in the knee, making him lose his footing just long enough for her to sprint out of his hold. What the fuck are you two doing? Jasmine detected the girl running at her with a freed hand, and next thing was something even weirder than before. I seemed more detached from this one. Sure, this dealt with my issue, but Jasmine stabbed the cold man in cold blood. What the fuck? All they had was a weak noise where it collapsing to the ground. Some blade-ray typhoon was rapidly brushing out his body. The imposters! All of them will get it! Every imposter here has gotta die! Justin stabbed him in an important place. They seemed to have gone to shock. Moments later, I thought for sure they expired. Like Carmeni's face was draining away. His breathing had already ceased the moment she stabbed him. Perhaps she got him in his lung. I wasn't sure exactly what this meant. His entire body softening up, dropped down like a marionette without strings. As I watched, powerless, G's cries mixed with the noise of body falling to the ground. Just like the expiration dates for the drinks, his zone had come. Jasmine, stop! Why him? What are you... I stopped talking when I started pulling a knife out from the old man's body. Her gaze was unfocused. It was all over the place. Oh boy. Her eyes were always open and never even blinked anymore. I thought I imagined it, but I definitely saw her irises wiggling slightly. They were vibrating back and forth once in a while. What happened to you, Jasmine? My inertia ended the moment she turned her head away from the old man to look elsewhere. Where? Nearby, ears standing up. She clearly felt something was amiss. However, she also couldn't tell what was exactly happening. Oh, fuck. Jasmine had her sights on her. Despite all Jasmine was doing, I couldn't bring myself to hate her. Didn't know what was happening to her. It's like a demon possessed her. To destroy that demon. If I destroyed that demon, Jasmine, my Jasmine would come back to me. Can I imagine her? He say that. Her eyes, I could tell, they weren't fine. She wasn't fine, and I needed free of that demon. In that split moment of the choice, I saw two things. One, she was utterly useless. She was horrified in her state. She was more focused on her twin's dead body. Two, Jasmine was lunging forward, had a single moment to act. It either slammed Jasmine to knock her out cold or pull E of her trajectory. It was about midway between both. The small hesitation was because I didn't know if I'd heard Jasmine doing it. At the same time, I couldn't stand by idly when E was in danger. Oh boy. Tackle. I chose to knock Jasmine away with a powerful slam on my shoulder. She was instantly knocked down when she collided against the wall. Perhaps I'd gone a little too hard. It hurt to do this with my friend, but I had no choice. So knocking her out or risking damaging someone else is probably the best option to take. Maybe. I can't imagine if we went for E, we would have got stabbed instead. Or even herself, or maybe even more simple knockout. Seeing her hit caused her to go out of her mind. We dropped a knife on the way down. She crumpled to the floor in a heap of jasmine. The weapon was covered with a red, drying bloodbath. I paid it heavily, coming down under that altercation. I drawn out a lot out of me just to do this much. Oh god, I just realized A on this pass, A was going I think was give us the pen, so now basically unless the pens have letters on them and we can figure out what those are, E's gonna be left in dark forever. Oh god. Oh boy. I drawn a lot out of me just to do this much. Meanwhile, G was just still watching, unable to move. Oh, she's in shock. It was perhaps a better way to say she was no longer willing to move. She was still frozen in shock, simply put. Yeah. This whole business, it's... What even happened? I don't know, but we have to treat her. We need to bring her back. Bring her back? She looked at me, strangely bewildered. I spoke of Jasmine, but perhaps she misinterpreted it. I corrected myself not to give her false hopes. I mean, we have to restrain Jay, so that way she won't hurt us. She killed my sister. That's all I want. I want my sister back. She clenched her teeth. Sadness in her voice is impossible to mistake. I approached her to console her, but she glared at me. Don't come closer! Oh no. She stood up and hesitated before grabbing her sister's body and carrying it off. I watched it all happen, able to lean again between the middle of them. I waited a few minutes, though I knew I didn't have all the time in the world. Jasmine was knocked out, but she'd come awake sooner or later. To look at her body. No, not like that. What the fuck? Just a cursory one. Making sure she's still alive was a priority. She was not bleeding anywhere, but the hit she got was definitely strong. Looking around for anything to help me, I noticed that when G carried H's body away, she left something behind. Their twin once carried a map on her, and now it was on the floor. I found it strange that G didn't come back for it, but I wasn't going to complain. I took and looked it over. There were names of every station, the map of all of them, separately in a pile. One of them was an infirmary. Ah, I could use this to keep Jasmine bound and treat her if needed. Didn't A say that he came back from the infirmary earlier? It means it's solid and vacant. I also had to take care of the knife. This kind of thing was dangerous to leave lying around or give to someone. We can hide it in a pot if you don't want to keep it on hand. You get rid of it in a way that would make it impossible for anyone to get it anymore. First, I need to clean it. I loathed doing this, but I used A's body to do so. I wiped it off with a piece of his clothing. Yeah, I didn't have any other way. Except for my clothes, my jacket, and my shirt, but my boss would kill me if I got out of this place. This place obviously didn't have a sink, and the water cooler, just for show, was empty. I had a passing thought for G while I was cleaning the knife. She was the only one apart from Jasmine and me who knew what had transpired here. She was on the loose. Off knows God knows what. I don't know what she's going to do with her sister's body. Oh boy. The tone would definitely be different the next time we met. Once she processed everything, it would change her. Something like that could break someone. Perhaps she was already broken. It was partially my fault. Okay, first order business done. Let's leave the knife somewhere no one will find it. Put on my outfit and lifted Jasmine from the ground and carried her downstairs. I need to take the train with her to head to the infirmary. And we're leaving Ear here behind. Wow. Oof, she was heavy. Way heavier than I thought she'd be. It wasn't someone who was especially fit, just average. And also, carrying a body like hers slowed me down considerably. She could eat less strawberry shortcakes, at least. I know she'd loved it, but she was a bit much. I made sure the twins were downstairs before I stepped out of the lobby. The train must have passed. Don't know which direction he took. Perhaps she went the same way. That wouldn't be good. It took a lot to organize my thoughts. I need to find a place where no one would take the knife anymore. That's it. The rails. I want to cross them for it. Straight through into the darkness. No one could see it. That's such a good idea. Oh, there's that too. Actually, it's really good. Lowered Jasmine to the ground, slowly, like I'm gonna lay her down and lean against a wall. I went to the little dark hallway, and just before entering it, I looked into the tunnel. I couldn't see anything beyond this room. Perfect. It was pitch black. I threw the knife, which echoed as it landed with a loud clank from nothing. It's gone now. I won't make use of it again. It was as if I spoke to reassure Jasmine, but she was still out cold. Well, here's the train. The train arrived momentarily. And we're gonna be going on the right track, hopefully? Hopefully. Probably not. There's no one else around. Everything was easily deserted. Eerily silent. Just plain eerie. What a mess. Da-da. Ominous chime is ominous. Swing. I set Jasmine in the seat. She looked like a disarticulated marionette. Made sure to position her in such a way to have the momentum work with her posture. The train set off. I had to count the stations to miss my stop, but I also wanted to think of the situation. Okay, so let's make sense of all this fuckery. I feel like Ray swearing so much. Well, that's me, but I don't care about swearing. Like, Ugh. Remember my parents were so fixated about swearing entirely before. I think they simply still are. Oh boy. I don't really fucking care about that sort of thing. It's kind of pointless to be just... It's kind of like censorship anyway, and besides, this is how I feel in the moment, so... That's how I'm gonna speak. Yeah. Of course, like, this whole thing of, like... I guess, like, it's also the whole thing about rules with, like, other people you're talking about. I feel like I'm going on... I'm having exposition moment with the characters are. Like, you talk differently to, like, you know, your friends, family, and other people. Even, like, with people online as well. So, obviously, you're gonna act differently. It's that sort of thing. And I think that this is my most casual sense, I guess. We all came back from our stations, except for the twins. Marco, Ray, Jasmine, A.E., and myself were there. Like, fuck. E was there. I completely forgot about her. Yeah. It's on my face. Shit. The moment I didn't realize I left her there since she was so quiet. I'll go back for later, I thought. Whatever. Right now, let's just focus on this. But how she's gonna react to him, literally just a dead body in the middle of the ground? If she trips over it? Oh boy. I'm not seeing Marco or Ray anywhere at the moment. It's so weird. Probably went on ahead and, like, went to different other areas. They're not at any of the stations either. It's like they just vanished. The twins aren't in the lounge. Marco and Ray were there. When I came back upstairs, my memory's kind of fuzzy about it. Were the twins there? I don't know. Gah. I went from my hair rapidly, making a mess of it. When I thought about Marco and Ray, the part of my head hurt. It's like reality didn't want me to think about it. It's... Yeah, like... This is a timeline where basically I'm, Oh god, I don't even remember myself. Oh boy. Oh boy. I thought this was like the same path from, like, you know, the twin. Like, you know, was stabbed and, like, Jasmine, like, was shot by a bullet or something, and then, you know, went to the infirmary. Like, what? Did I mistakenly see them? Was I hallucinating? This is the perception resistance thing again? My eyes playing tricks on me? Should my head to clear it all up. Thankfully, the train stopped at the station I wanted to go to. It stopped a few times prior, but I didn't pay attention to those. I only mentally counted them. I grabbed Jasmine again, quickly hoisted her up over my shoulder. Ugh, I had to get used to this. Such a need to carry upstairs. I need to be quick before the train departed again. Finally, I was in the station. It didn't take too long before heading to the lobby. Then I hit right up the stairs. One step at a time, I ascended with a great effort, but I managed. Hitting on the halfway mark, running there for several moments before resuming my trek. There's no one here. We didn't even call up, to be sure anyway. Finally, it was at the top. I quickly spied a bed in which I deposited her with all the care in the world. This would have been easier for someone else. It'll be kind of hard right now. The entire group is somewhat dysfunctional. What a mess. I repeated the words I said before taking the train. For some reason, it helped me cope with it. Repetition. As long as you don't expect something different to happen, it's a good coping mechanism. Okay, what now? It helps ground you, I guess. I got rid of the knife, so I was safe. I wanted answers, but I also wanted her to be alright first, so I could even get those answers. I went to the sink. With paper towels in hand, I went to the lot and folded it to put on her forehead. At least to alleviate the pain I caused her knocking her out. Maybe. Nothing to do then but wait. After a while, I remember what Smiley said. I quickly fixed my predicament. I attached a post-it note from one of the stacks I found in the infirmary to the door frames at the bottom. On them was an indication to yell if they would go up the stairs. This place was occupied by 2 already. That's good. Okay, good. At least it would prevent some kind of shitty tragedy. While I've been investigating, I investigated the area, but I found nothing of use. Jasmine was taking a long time to come back to her senses, so I decided to examine her again. Like you're gonna look in her pockets or something? Or, yeah, okay, senses. I took her temperature, but everything seemed normal. It was when I pulled my hand away that I noticed something weird. First of all, it was important to establish the fact Jasmine dyed her hair. Oh. It was not naturally pink. Her eyebrows were a real hair color, brown. Normally she put stars in it too, just to look cute. Maybe it was a habit she had when she was younger and she no longer had it, or whatever. But what I was seeing didn't make sense. I noticed her hair could sort of fall. With the hand, it cursively reached the scalp and pulled. Wait, was this? Could I remove her hair? Underneath her was more hair. Did she switch to wearing a wig instead of dyeing it? What was the point of this? This doesn't make sense. Did you try dyeing your hair another color? What happened after I left you to attend the University of Montreal? I fucking knew I should have stayed. I squeezed my hands with fists, angry at the world. I was just angry at myself. Underneath her pink wig, her hair was blonde-colored. Wait, what? It wasn't brown, it wasn't pink, it was blonde. The strands couldn't lie. Like, down to the roots? What the fuck happened to you, Jasmine? You dyed your hair blonde? Huh? My question, much like the previous one, was rhetorical. I had no way of telling what happened to her. Since she was not unconscious, she had no way of answering me. Another question piling another one. Okay. Something was definitely wrong about this. I backed off and went downstairs to think about it. I removed the whole wig and the hair underneath was blonde. Oh boy. It wasn't long either. It was kept short. Maybe that was so it could fit under the wig better? Why is her hair blonde? Whose hair? Ah! What the heck? I jumped back in surprise that G came out of nowhere. She went to the station while I'd been upstairs, and she surprised me coming out of that little dark hallway with a gate. Jasmine's hair is blonde. I don't know why. It's not supposed to be blonde. Oh, sorry, I was insensitive. Are you okay? Yeah, I'll be fine. She didn't sound fine at all. Oh, well, okay. Something about her felt incredibly strange. She was looking at me while talking. So she was looking around the station. It's a pretty spacious place here, huh? You're looking for her? Maybe it is. So, what did you do with your twin sister? Did you bring her somewhere? Kinda. Something's definitely wrong with G now. She paced around a little and pondered what I should do. This lapse of attention proved to be a mistake. So as soon as she showed any signs of detachment, G showed me backwards. What? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, sis. I did it. Just for you. Now I can be with you. As I heard those words, and my world fell upside down. I fell into the space between the stations. Your sister's Since I spoke, I knew it was over. And it rendered right into the tracks, and a strong electric current instantly killed me among waves of pain. And then, darkness greeted me like an old friend. So many times. Jeez. Seeing so many deaths. Yeah, at this point, slowly everyone's killing each other. Yeah, that's fun. This is fun. This is fine. Oh boy. You see the choice of like we push E out of the way and we get stabbed instead? I can imagine that. Yeah, there was that. Let's go down that quickly. Okay, we can talk to him now. Okay. So, how'd you get to be a barista anyway? What's the specific word you use in this case? Oh, loud noise. Oh, I just fancy myself a nice beverage once in a while. My age, it's difficult to find the low prices of life anymore. I had to take them where I can. And I do enjoy speaking well where I may. Speaking well. Hopefully you find this appropriate, given my advanced seniority? I don't know. He guffawed at that claim. I didn't know what to make of him. He was close to a perfect mix between proper and uncouth. Yeah. Time to have fun with the alcohols, apparently. Oh boy. So at least it's best to save E. Okay. The moment I remembered Jasmine's eyes, they were crazy. They completely out of focus. I said then there was no reasoning with her, but she didn't stab G earlier when she's the girl's side. Perhaps then G would be safe with her, paradoxically. I didn't know what to do, so I did the most natural thing. I reached over for E. Just my hand right on her wrist, I yanked her out of the way. Huh? What? What's going on? She quickly fell against me. I gritted my teeth upon feeling the added weight. A small clicking noise echoed when our collar came to contact. I lost my footing, but I remained upright. The moment I figured that she wasn't a threat. She was innocent, and I could trust her. My first priority was to help her, to bring her to a safe location. I saw that she also understood the fact I was no threat, and she could trust me. Meanwhile, Jasmine was considering the situation now that I had added myself to the equation. I had to figure something out myself to disable her further. How would you even, get someone out of this stupor anyway? The thing you can do is just restrain them? I had to figure something out to disable her further. Quickly, I took the first thing I could reach. It was a bag A gave me. Contained a lot of pens. Oh, okay. Okay, misunderstood earlier. Contained a lot of pens. Sure, they come in handy now. I unzipped it and packed off with E. Don't come closer. Perhaps this is ridiculous. Okay. I stole through the pens, one by one. When I came upon the E pen, I said to leave in the bag. That's weird. Same deal for the pen S. I couldn't throw those, just in case. But I was almost out of ammo. Yep, that wasn't enough to deter Jasmine. It was almost the staircase. If I could just throw one more thing at her. Right, the bag itself. I put the last two pens out, flung those, and then lobbed the bag at her face, which made her hesitate. That was enough. I sprinted out of the room with E in tow. Oh, why did you decide to do that with only the S and E pen? I mean, I guess seeing is believing. If you need the, well, I mean, like, use the S pen on her somehow, but you don't have paper then. We have a receipt. Ugh. I ran for it. We moved straight down the stairs in our hurry. At that moment, I had a passing thought for a twin. As I figured out earlier, maybe she'd be fine. I just had to hope that was the case. Just was hoping for the train to arrive quickly. If Jasmine got her bearings back and barreled down the stairs, there'd be nothing stopping for her from... It was quiet, so I exhaled a breath I didn't know I still held. She wasn't coming down. Perhaps she was... I shook my head. I knew I shouldn't have thought about it. I knew that... I might have let the twin die, but I had no choice. I clenched my teeth when I realized that choice still perhaps condemned one of them. Oh boy. The train arrived. As soon as the doors opened, we boarded it. Well, that definitely goes against my expectation if we were going to get that instead. Instead. With an S and E pen for some reason. Since we entered, the train departed. Let's hope she has time to reflect on her thoughts. Go to the timeout corner, Jasmine. Think about what you've done. Yeah, it's like that's gonna help. I hadn't picked which staircase I went down to because I didn't have the state of mind to think about it. Perhaps I should have thought about it more. Where are we going? What was that event? Unfortunately, I had no means to communicate with her, so I had to think of something else. I tugged onto her hand as though to comfort her. Well, whatever it was, it wasn't good, huh? But at least we're good now. I don't know if you're writing something, so put my hand at once if yes, twice if no. Put her hand twice. Oh, did you run out of paper? I put her twice. That was technically true. Just in the bag. Something else must be preventing you from writing. Did you lose the pens too? I put her hand once. This can answer simple questions. That's really bad. Well, at least inform me of what happened like this. Is everyone okay? I put her hand twice. They definitely weren't okay. Did people die? I hesitated. To which point did I really need to tell her the truth? No answer, huh? Okay, sorry about that. We're having some remodeling in a manner of speaking. And a good way. Or bad way. I'm not gonna say. Why not? Because I like being mysterious. Because why not? I don't know. Yeah. No answer, huh? Very long no answer, apparently. So I guess they did. I realized too late that my lack of answer spoke for itself. I brushed the back of my head awkwardly as the train came to a stop. Well, here we are. Another station. I looked in a station, but there was no one. The doors are open. This is already solved. Just as eagerly, the train closed its doors and ventured off again. I don't know what else to ask, and you can't ask me anything. We can take the rest of the line in silence then. That is okay? I started poking her hand once, even if I want to talk more. It was helping, but it was just like she said. Didn't know how to communicate with her what those pens. Only answering yes or no questions, and she has to be the one asking, and we have to be the one receiving it. Sure, I need the paper too, and all of them were gone with the bag. Except for the S and E pen, which apparently you've grown fond of, apparently. The train crossed the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th station without a hitch. I figured we'd leave at the 5th one. Unfortunately, the station had its doors closed. Were Marco and Ray inside? Since leaving here was definitely one of the worst options, I didn't. Instead, I remained in the train, in silence, with E. I remained like that until we arrived at the next station. I waited a while, but it wouldn't go, so this was definitely a new station. It was perhaps the last one in the line. The announcer called at the theater station. It's not moving anymore. Are we at a new station then? My priority was to escort E out of here. I pulled her hand once and we stood up together. Oh boy. The idea was, if we entered a new station, doors would close behind us. So we had a time limit, we could wait there with the solution, refrain from entering it for several hours if needed, and we could head back out in relative safety. Then perhaps the issue would be solved. I doubted it. Yet, this is the most cowardly plan I could come up with, and it was marvelous. We sat down to the station. It immediately became apparent this choice was a foolhardy decision on my part because the door was closed. Huh? But Marco and Ray were... Did they split up? They split up and one went here? No, wait, the doors only closed and 2 cars on the side, didn't they? So, it shouldn't be closed if just one person came here. Wait, one person. I opened my mouth in silent horror what I just thought about. Why did we never try this? Perhaps I should have checked. I should have tried entering the station alone, see if it closed up. If it didn't, then maybe no puzzles need to be solved that way. If we could reverse them one by one, then the doors would never lock up. Maybe it was a trap by Smiley. The case was, I couldn't test it now. The door was closed. There's no one but me and E. The train had gone already. No other came by. I looked at the other side of the station. The door was closed too. The place between the stations was, as I mentioned long ago, far too dangerous to cross. Okay, we're stuck here forever then. Oh boy. That was a last-ditch effort and nothing else. You've been silent for a while now. Is everything fine? First, I had to comfort E. I lied by poking her hand one time. Just taking a break then? Come poke my hand when you're good to go. She smiled. That was a smile that needed protecting. I thought I could do it. It's my task now. First order of business, check out the door. Or I could check out everything else first, too. Perhaps something or another would be a way out. A dad up at the gate, maybe? Doubt it. My steps were blocked over only a few in this encroaching darkness. It wasn't simple. There was a big gate. Unless I could cut myself to pieces, I wouldn't make it out through there. And there can't be like one person there because, yeah, we already tested it out, so like 2 people only. 2 people only, so who the fuck? 4. There's 2 people dead. There's 8. There's 3 pairs. Jasmine off doing what? And how did they get ahead of us then? What? My steps were blocked off after only a few minutes in this scorched darkness. It was simple. There was a big gate. I was gonna cut myself to pieces and reassemble myself back together on the side. I wouldn't make it through there. I could have done that if I had a knife, but I wouldn't be alive anymore, which would be counterproductive to the goal. Oh, nonsense. You can put your body tilted together again. You're not human, aren't you? You're a wooden man. You know, if someone picked up the little cubes that made me and put them back together, I wouldn't be fine on the other side. Still the sign. Heh, that sign wouldn't stop me because I couldn't read. Oh, god damn it, the memes. Well, no, I could read, but there was no one around who could enforce the sign. That sign won't stop me because I can't read. So the sign itself would be of no use to me. God damn it. The moms. The meoms. No secret passage behind this television screen. Unless the screen itself is a secret passage, time to dive straight through it into magical land. It was flat as my mood, or as flat as the earth. If I believe the earth was flat, which I didn't, and the earth is not flat. Or it was flat as a bratty anime girl. Perhaps it was as flat as these comparisons. My god. Nice walls. Nice, sick walls, bruh. I tried to find a way to open one of the plates. They're fixed to the wall with large bolts, but surely there was a way to get them off. I tried with all my might, but there's no way they're opening up, not even the bolts. Yeah. If Ray couldn't have done it, I sure as hell didn't stand a chance. Well, that's just the door. Maybe we could see who's in there? The door was closed. We can knock on it. Try peeking through the window. Inside was a bunch of rubble. Like, what was that all about? What? It's all melding together? The theater's all... Huh? I tried and I tried, but I couldn't open it. There's no handle. Nothing I could do to get it to open up. Even the window in the door was useless. It's thick as a door. It didn't break even when I threw my strongest punch. Had accepted. You're trapped here. I decided against forming E for now. Instead, I waited. Maybe some help would come. That's what I thought. Against the wall, I stood to the ground and sat, waiting. 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 But help did not come. Nothing happened. I felt like an eternity passed us by as we waited for help that never came. Oh, jeez. I stood up and decided it was time for the last-ditch effort. If I could reach the other side of the platform, the train would arrive and take us away. That's why I prepared myself for it. I backed up, looked at E still serene, waiting for help as well. I moved forward, confident in my take. I wouldn't get to make the first step in the dangerous abyss between the stations, however. So as soon as I made up my mind, darkness greeted me. Did I pass out? Did the light simply turn off? No. It was stranger than that. As if it was floating in darkness. I couldn't feel my body. It was only darkness. Huh. Now I'm thinking back to Marco's thoughts again. Like, senses are basically just that with robots, so, maybe our conscious were, like, transferred over to different things. Just endlessly, like, going back and forth. This is basically Earth B code, but on a more grander scale with everyone in tow. Isn't that a nice thought? Oh, boy. Oh, jeez. So now there's only this cyan route left. We got 3 of the letters. We still need to get... I'm assuming this route is going to be, like, the one that has the final letter, I can only imagine. We're slowly making our way down. 4 more endings to go. Oh, boy. Still have no idea what this word is forming. Illy. I-L-Y something. Something I-L-Y something. Has to mean something, right? Moves down to this final thing with the... This has to be the final route then, right? The green route. And let's have them in medias res with someone dying. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that itself is actually one of the things. So, like, this is an ending, that's an ending, and there's, like, a double choice here, then. A weird one. Yeah. And the in medias res was basically the in medias end. Possibly. Well. But we'll leave this off here. Oh boy, we're getting closer and closer to the ending. Things are more piling up. The blonde, like, Jasmine just has blonde hair. So, like, down to the roots, which, unless she dyed it in between for years, maybe this is, like, fabricated bodies and, like, interchangeable. Stuff like that. Like, you know, robots and all that. So far, we only ever seen H. Like, you know, like, her dead body. Like, you know, her head. That was it. And nothing else. That sort of thing, you know? Plus, there's a whole vat of everyone. Like, you know, all with a Smiley hat on. The whole ending with, you know, H or G, like, you know, the Smiley hat on, like, going, like, someone's trying to destroy a whole place, you're gonna die. Yeah, sort of thing. It's weird. So I think that whole early thing I was thinking about, my own little confirmation bias as well, I think that's shaping up to be here as well. Huh. That basically no one here is different except for maybe one, but depends on who that is. Seems like Simon is maybe, but to what extent, I probably have no idea, and I can't probably think of it right now. We'll get into it as to get to it. So, have a fun time watching this as I am playing this. Hope you see you next time, the time may be, and I'll hope you have a fantastic day.